Action.
Hello, my name is Ghost. I'm gonna tell you 5 scary stories. First one in the list, the shadow. I didn't know that's what it was called until much later. I was living in a house in Virginia Beach. I have been there since 1920s. In its history, it has been a speakeasy, a brothel, and a house for smuggling illegal immigrants. One day, my new wife and I were having an agreement. I can't even recall what it was about. She walked down to the block to get a cup of coffee and cool off. I was alone in the house. The way the place was built was incredibly hazard. There was a bedroom and living room on one side and a bathroom with 2 entrances. One of the other side of the bathrooms was a hallway, and then the windows on one side, 2 bedrooms on the other. From my bedroom, it could look across the hall into the bathroom, and then through the bathroom, and down the other hall. I was standing at my dresser. I was just noticing movement, and at the corner of my eye, I looked down. There it was, and honest to God, this gives me the goosebumps. Just typing it, 17 years later, a black figure. It was maybe 3 feet tall. I was very vaguely humanoid. It looked like black scribbles, like something like a scribbled human shape, but the scribble moved like electricity RC. That's the best way to describe it. There was no sound that I could remember. Alright, wait a bit. I wasn't afraid, just like, what the fuck? Then it noticed me, looking at me. I can't say it turned around. It just focused on me, I guess. And I was scared. I didn't move. I didn't scream. Nothing. I was just frozen. It was just fucking came at me. It rushed down and hauled towards me. I had no idea what it intended, but as soon as I entered the bathroom, the door to the closet to me just slammed shut on me. I screamed. I yelled for my wife. She wasn't home. I went outside into the daylight. I didn't go back until she got home about 10 minutes later. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe it. I saw something supernatural. I know I saw something. I know that it was real.
Number 2. Ghost Bro. The house was built in 1904. It is a single-family home, wood frame, setting on a concrete block fundament. I have been living here for about 12 years. All of the weird things that my siblings and me have seen or heard in this house, this one is my favorite. This happened to my brother about 10 years ago. My brother and his best friend had started a garage band playing mostly Spanish rock. Alert music, but in Spanish. His friends could only get together on Sunday afternoons. They would have to practice into the early evening, and they would usually call it quiet by 8 p.m.
Well, what are you doing?
This was the time I usually showed up and went to bed, 'cause I worked the graveyard shift. This happened in late fall, so the days were getting shorter. They had to just finish a long session when the decision to head to someone else's house came about. My brother handed his car keys to his buddy so they could load up the equipment. Everyone had filled out the basement. But the tricky part was that they needed to walk all the way back of the basement, upstairs, through the kitchen doorway, down the hall into the living room, and out into the front porch. Everyone was outside, sitting in my brother's truck, waiting for him. My brother was walking up the stairs back when he remembered that he left his pancakes in the to-go container sitting on a speaker in the basement. He made a decision to go back. Now the basement is not clean with full sight lines. There had to be some partitions made, and the boiler and the main heating unit are right smack in the middle. So after my brother walks back, he is about to the food container when out of the corner of his eyes he sees it. It is a shadow figure right at his parallel vision. This is a feeling dread and anxious washed over my brother. We had just taught that if you are in a presence of a spirit or ghost and you felt a bad vibe, to say a quick prayer or curse at it. My brother chose the latter, and he basically just told me, hey, you, I don't have time for this. My brother started to walk up back of the basement and up the stairs, closing the doors, turning off the lights. As he was walking out, the last light switch was on the side of the front door. Luckily, the door was open, and the light from the street lamp was flooding the living room. Its amber light. My brother said he felt something at his back, but at no point he turned around. As he flicked the last switch in the living room went dark as the rest of the house. As he stepped out and pulled on the door, closing it behind him, still holding his food container in one hand, and he jogged to the porch. He walked towards the front gate of our house, far from the main street, having a large front yard but no near garage. As he closed the gap between himself and his friend, literally the truck, he kind of a smile and thought over things over his head, mad at himself for spooking out when there was no reason. He climbed into the driver's side of the truck, putting on his seatbelt and getting ready to pull out the parking spot directly in front of the house when one of his friends asked, "Hey, wait, what about your brother? Isn't he coming with us?" My brother answered, "What do you mean? He went to work earlier tonight. He is already gone. Do you see his car anywhere?" The next question they asked, "So then who was walking behind you when you were leaving the house?"
Yeah. Number 3, the creep shadow. I was babysitting my niece. Once while I was staying at my brother's place, and they had the baby camera set up, so I could see her on the little TV. It came with... Oh, wait, sorry, that kind of sounded retarded. And they had a baby camera set up, so I could see her on the little TV it came with. I was sitting at the start, dozing off when I heard some whispering. I realized it was coming from the monitor. I intentionally thought it was some feedback or something, but when I looked at the TV, There was a dark shadow near my niece's crib. I'd never been more terrified in my life, but the shadow was clearly there, where it had never been before. I ran to my niece's room. I looked around and saw nothing, but I took her the hell out of there and went back to the TV, and the shadow was clearly gone. I told my brother what happened, and he pulled me aside and told me not to mention it to my sister-in-law because she'll freak out, but that he had seen the thing several times now, the same whispering. I stayed in the house for about 4 more years, and when my niece was learning to talk, she would take her mom about her special friend. To this day, it will scares the shit out of me. When they moved out, my brother told my niece, I become inconsolable, sad because would miss her friend. Her mom would tell her she could bring him along, but all she would say was that he couldn't leave the house. We have never, to this day, told her about the damn shadow, and she apparently never saw it.
Number 4. The Rocking Horse. One night when I was maybe 10, 12, I had trouble falling asleep. My bedroom was the entire top floor of my house, with my bed as such being on the left side, and storage closets and a play area being on the right. I was lying in bed when I heard a noise from the other side of the room, and I'm seeing a rocking horse begin to rock. I was sitting just outside one of those storage closets doors. It proceeded to rock its way halfway across the room, stopped dead under the ceiling light. At this point, I was freaking out. I just buried my head under my blankets, and I never peeked out again until morning. It was all confirmed to be not a dream, as the rocking horse was still in the middle of my room when I woke up. Furthermore, I got a steer permitted from my parents for being up out of bed with my toys well past my bedtime. Their bedroom was directly below the storage closet play area, where I heard the creaking of the rocking horse shuffling across the room. The end.
Number 5. The Princess. How did the princess take control of our message board? If only a few seconds. It didn't take any sense. Our message board wasn't a video game. Our message board pulled all the information from the internet. The princess was already inhabiting a game at the same time. All the rules we thought we know, all the things we thought kept us safe and failed us. Could she have done this all at any time? Could she do it again? Were there any real limit to what she was capable of? We looked through all the data we collected. We tried to find some common thread we'd been missing. There must have been some way we could have known had been more answers than what we are seeing. And there were. We finally realized the truth. It was so obvious. The princess has been our message board the whole time. She was every page. She was every forum list. She had been staring at us. Watching us. Wait. Sorry, I messed up on that last. She'd been staring at us, watching us for years, and we never even saw it. She was the banner at the time of the forum. She was every screenshot we posted, every video we'd uploaded, every piece of fan art we'd drawn. Every image of her is her. Every image of her was absurd. Gives her power. She's not a ghost. She's not a computer virus. She's an idea, a living fiction. She lives off her observations and thoughts of her. We all watched that stream, banded together, and gave her all the attention at once. We made her more powerful than ever been before. She made her strong enough to manifest through the images we post in our message board and speak directly to us. She took down all the images from what we speculate. It was enough to simplify it, never look at them again, but we deleted them all, just to be certain. However, it may already be too late for us. I've been losing contact with other members of the society. I can't tell if something happened to them, or if something simply gone into hiding. But at this point, only a fool wouldn't consider the worst case scenario. I was not completely heartless. I know she fighting for her survival. Now for her, being forgotten is death. She does what she does in hope of keeping her memory alive. To that day, perhaps my telling her story as the world is a small act of mercy. Maybe thoughts I let her will ease her pain. Somewhat, I don't know, but either way, that isn't what I wrote all this. What I told you could put you in great danger, but it was also save your life. You're a target now, and months and years ahead she may come for you. But I've also given you knowledge you need to keep yourself safe. Try to fight her, do not try to talk to her, do not try to outsmart or trap her, or investigate, do not try to understand or try to be a hero, don't save you. It's my sincere hope that I've given you an answer what you so are mistaken to investigate further. One of the only things you need to be safe. If you see her, turn off the game. What the fuck?